Okay, hello again, everyone, and good morning. We're in week 7, if you can believe that, and we're going to be taking our second test this Thursday. So write that down, test on trig Thursday. So you'll have your practice test on Wednesday. Make sure you watch the video, pause it, and rework all of the problems. Okay, let's try to get a good grade on this. All right, so here we go. Let's take a look. We have an octagon. It's a regular octagon, so that would be a stop sign. So let's draw a stop sign. Okay, and this says, what is the interior angle measure? So you want to use this formula, n minus 2 times 180. Memorize that, okay? Put a star by that. This is a review. N stands for the number of sides. Okay, we went over this a long time ago. It's an octagon, it has 8, so change that to an 8. So it's 8 minus 2, it's 6 triangles. So the interior angle measure is 1080 degrees. All right, so that's number 1. Number 2 says find 1. So you would take this and divide by the number of sides. In this case, there are 8 sides. So you take 1080 divided by 8. So 1080 divided by 8 equals. So each angle is worth 135 degrees. And there it is. All right, let's go on. The next one says find the point halfway. Well, halfway is a midpoint. Now, do you remember how to do midpoint? Midpoint, you add up the x's and divide by 2. So 9 plus a negative 7 divided by 2, and 18 plus a negative 18 divided by 2. So that's going to give me 2, 9 minus 7. So 2 divided by 2 is going to be 1. And this is 0. And 0 divided by 2 is 0. So the midpoint is over 1 up 0. And these are review questions for the EOC. Make sure you know them. This one's trig. So you're standing here. So this side would be opposite. I want you to label it. This side across from the 90 is your hypotenuse. And this side is the adjacent. So we're looking for an A and an H. So, TOA. So it's cosine. So it's going to be the cosine of angle X is equal to adjacent is on top because it comes next. So it's 11 over 20. Circle the X. Divide by the word cosine. So you're going to get angle X is equal to the arc cosine of 11 divided by 20. Let me show you that one on the test. And it is this one, number 8. Okay, there it is. And so let's finish it up. So take your calculator, and I want you to do this, okay? I don't want you to miss it because you don't know how to use your calculator. Press equals. Make sure you press equals. Shift cosine. So the angle is a 56.6 degree angle, approximately. So we'll put that little squiggly to mean approximation. Okay, on a new sheet of paper, draw this one. This is number 11 on your test. The lines are parallel, so alternating interior are equal. So put 3x minus 43 is equal to 80. And then work it out. Can you work it out? Well, you would add 43 and then divide by 3. So take 80 plus 43, press equals, and then divide by 3, and I get 41. So x is equal to 41. You could check it. You could plug it in here and see if you get 80. And I would say you do. All right, now put away your bell work. Let's talk about the practice test, okay? So we can do that. If you can't be with us, here's today's practice test. I'm giving it to you a little early, but tomorrow we're going to work it in class, okay? And you're going to work with each other. This one right here is actually not going to be trig because we don't know what this angle is or that angle, but we do know it's a right triangle, so we can use Pythagorean's theorem. Now remember, these two touch the box, okay? They're next to the box. This one's your hypotenuse. So it's going to be 6 squared plus 8 squared is equal to the hypotenuse squared. So the hypotenuse is going to be the square root of 36. 6 times 6 plus 8 times 8 is 64. That's the square root of 100, so it has to be 10. There it is. Really pretty simple. This one works the same way. Color your box. These go together. So 12 squared plus 5 squared is equal to the hypotenuse squared. And finish that up because it's just like number 1. Number 3 is a little different. Here you're looking for a leg. You see how they come together here? Color the box. These go together. So it's going to be 10 squared plus x squared is equal to the hypotenuse squared. Draw your line. So this is going to be 169, I think. You can check that one on your calculator. This is going to be 10 times 10 is 100. So we're going to subtract 100, and then we're going to take the square root to get rid of that. So it's going to be the square root of 69, and there it is right there. Okay, you can check your answers there on the back. This one we could do special triangles, or we could do trig, whichever way you want to do it. Okay. I'm going to do special triangles because I like them, okay? So this is a 30, 60, 90, plus it's a review for some of you. If you want to do trig, go ahead. Across from the 90, this is 1, 2, square root of 3. So across from the 90 goes the 2. Across from the 30 will go the 1. And across from the 60 will go the square root of 3. Okay, so either way. So I'm going to put 1 over x, put your circles on the top, and then square root of 3 over 10. So we're going to get 10 is equal to x times the square root of 3, and then we're going to divide by the square root of 3. Now remember, you have to rationalize your denominator, but you have a calculator, so you should be able to figure this one out. Okay, so you really don't need to rationalize it. You should know how, but we'll just use the calculator. So it's going to be 10 divided by 3 shift square root, and I get 5.8. And I'm looking for this one right here. And that's how you do it. If you want to do trig, go ahead. It should work. This one we will use trig because that's all we know. We don't have a special triangle on this one. So if you're standing here, put a dot. This one is opposite. This one is the 90, so this is the hypotenuse. And this one is the adjacent. So we're looking for an O and an H. And that is SOHCAHTOA. So that's sine. So put the sine of 23 degrees is equal to opposite over the hypotenuse. Put a 1 under here. 1 times x is x. So your answer is going to be 15 times the sine of 23 degrees. So let's do this. Clear your calculator. I would do 23 backwards and then sine and then times 15 is the way I would do it. And then times 15 and press equals. I get 5.9 is what I'm going to go with, and that's what I'm looking for. And there it is right there. All right. Let's move on. This one right here, you might want to put a star by this one. What you're going to do is a two-part problem here. You're going to take this triangle, and you're going to do W, and you're going to figure that out using trig. Then you're going to take the whole big triangle, and you're going to do trig on that one. You're going to call this y, okay? And then you're going to subtract w, and that gives you x. So, all right, because let me minimize this, obviously, sorry about that. Okay, so you have this triangle, and then you have the great big triangle, okay? So you're going to do trig twice. So this is opposite and adjacent, so that's tangent. This one is opposite and adjacent, okay? So you're going to say the tangent of 42 degrees is equal to opposite over adjacent, okay? And then this one, you're going to say the tangent of 27 degrees is equal to opposite over adjacent. And then you're going to solve this equation here. Put a 1 under here. You could cross multiply or just switch these. Now hopefully that doesn't confuse you. So we're going to move the w up here, but then we're going to put the tangent over here on the bottom. And that's our answer. We're going to swap these two. Okay, so the y is going to go up top, and then the tangent of 27 is going to go on the bottom, just like that. Okay, so we're going to use the calculator. So take 12 divided by 42 tan, press equals. I get 13.3, okay, and that's a round number there. Well, I guess we'll put 27 just to make sure. This one we're going to take 12 divided by 27 tan, press equals, and that gives us 23.55. So what we have here is the whole thing from here to here is 23.55, whereas W from here to here, W was 13.327. So we're going to subtract these. So minus 13.327, press equals. So this little piece right here, this piece from here to here, that little piece is going to be 10.2. So we're looking for 10.2 and 13. So here it is right here. W is 13.3 and this one is 10.2. And that's the one I'm going with. So there it is. Okay, so you might want to rework that one. It's like a two-part problem there. Okay, let me flip this over. This one right here where it says look for the angle, well, that one is the inverse function. So put angle x, draw a line, circle x, and you're going to divide by the cosine. So angle x is equal to the arc cosine of 2 divided by 5. So clear your calculator, press 2 divided by 5, press equals, and then hit shift cosine. You should get 66.4 degrees. And we're looking for this one, it looks like. Okay. Number 8, same thing. You're looking for an angle, so it's going to be the arc. So you're standing here. This looks like the adjacent and the hypotenuse. Now, if you still don't know how to label your triangle, you better let me know right now, because without that, you can't work these. So AH is cosine. So TOA is your trig functions, and there's AH. Okay, so it's going to be the cosine of angle x is equal to the adjacent over the hypotenuse. We worked this one a little earlier, okay, and you can go back and look at it. So I'm not going to go any further but to do this, and then you use your calculator and check it. Number 9. Number 9, remember the angle of depression is equal to the angle of elevation. So put your 5 degrees right there, and you're standing here. So this would be opposite and adjacent, so I think that's tangent. So put the tangent of 5 degrees is equal to opposite over adjacent. 4, 6, 2, 9, you're going to multiply. So it's going to be 4, 6, 2, 9 times the tangent of 5 degrees. Should give you your answer. Okay, let's just do that one so you see it. Press 5 tan and then times 4629. Press equals. I get 404.98. Let's see where that's at. 404.98. They must have rounded it to 405. You can check it. All right, number 10. Let's see, this is a word problem here. The height of a pole. So you're looking for the height of the pole. Okay, a survey moves 140 feet away. So there's your right triangle. There is your right triangle. Anyway, with a transit. A transit is a type of instrument, okay, where you see the surveyors. So they got 4 feet here. So for the pole, we're going to have to add 4 feet, okay, to whatever we get, because that's where the instrument is, the transit. So the elevation, we have 44 degrees. So it's going to be opposite over adjacent. So put the tangent of 44 degrees is equal to opposite over adjacent. So we want to multiply, so it's going to be 140 times the tangent of 44. So clear your calculator. Press 44 tan times 140, press equals, and you get 135. So the pole is 135, but you got to add the 4 feet for the machine. So we're going to say 139, and there it is right there. And so you can verify that one. Make sure you add that instrument. It's 4 feet tall, so you got to add that. Okay, number 11 we did on the bell work, so there's just one more, and this is a bonus one. Okay, so here we go. They want perpendicular, so you got to flip, change. Make sure you know that. Here's your slope. So take 3 over 2 and then flip it. That gives you 2 over 3, and then change it. So you want to use a negative 2 over 3. And here's the point. So it's going to be y minus your y. If you use negative 1, you're going to miss it. That's your x. You want to use your y. So y minus 2 equals negative 2 over 3 times x minus your x, which is a negative 1. So that becomes a plus. So y minus 2, this gives you a negative 2 over 3x, and this gives you, that's a plus, so that's 1 negative. So that's going to be a negative. Put a 1 under there. 2 times 1 is 2. 3 times 1 is 3. Then the only thing you want to do is add 2 to both sides. So put 2 over 1. Your least common denominator here is 3. So you want to multiply by 3. Okay, so it's going to be a negative 2 over 3 plus 6 over 3. 6 minus 2 is going to be 4 over 3. So we're looking for this one right here. There it is, 4 over 3. And that's it. That's your test. So learn those problems, prepare, keep working on that Carnegie, and do some work on your own. Okay, you can go on YouTube and type in and learn anything you need to learn. Okay, all right, good luck.